The year is 1532. A vast Andean mountain range stretches out beneath gray skies. Spanish soldiers stumble through unfamiliar terrain, clutching their weapons tightly, their breaths visible in the thin, chilled air. At their helm is a man with steely eyes and worn armor, his face etched with determination. This is Francisco Pizarro, a man whose name would reshape the fate of the Americas. He was a dreamer, a warrior, and a conqueror, a man who defied the odds and changed the course of history. But beneath the tales of glory, power, and riches is a story of ambition, betrayal, and devastation. Who was Francisco Pizarro, a visionary hero or a ruthless invader? A bustling Incan city, golden temples gleaming under the sun, surrounded by majestic peaks. Warriors patrol the streets while llamas graze in the valley below. The Inca Empire, vast and advanced, stands untouched, its power seemingly unshakable. Francisco Pizarro's story began far from these heights. He was born around 1476 in Trujillo, Spain, a world away from wealth or nobility. The son of a poor farmer, Pizarro never learned to read or write. He grew up herding pigs and dreaming of a life beyond his impoverished existence. But as news of the New World reached Europe, Pizarro found his chance. Tales of vast riches, untamed lands, and fortunes waiting to be claimed filled saloons across Spain, and Pizarro wanted his share. He joined the waves of adventurers sailing west, landing in the Americas as a soldier hungry not just for survival, but for glory. Pizarro fought alongside famed explorer Vasco Núñez de Balboa, where he witnessed the Pacific Ocean for the first time. Yet while others were content with exploration, Pizarro craved conquest and wealth. Whispers soon reached his ears of a great empire nestled deep in the mountains of South America, an empire full of treasures beyond imagination. Determined to make his mark on the world, Pizarro returned to Spain to seek the crown's blessing for his mission. It was no easy task. Spain's rulers needed convincing that such a voyage was worthwhile, but Pizarro's persistence paid off. The king endorsed his plan, granting him authority to claim this fabled empire for Spain. In 1532, armed with authority but scant resources, Pizarro set sail for South America with a ragtag force of just 168 men, 27 horses, and a handful of cannons. Skeptics mocked the venture. How could fewer than 200 Spaniards hope to topple an empire of millions? But Pizarro didn't swim against the tide of history, he rode it. The Incan Empire was already reeling from internal strife, a bloody civil war between two brothers, Atahualpa and Huáscar, fighting for the throne. Meanwhile, unseen enemies, European diseases like smallpox, had swept through the empire, weakening its population and morale before a Spanish sword had been drawn. Pizarro's timing was perfect. Atahualpa, confident in his power, agreed to meet this band of foreign invaders. But what awaited was no negotiation. It was a trap. As the emperor sat to speak, Pizarro gave the signal. Spanish cannons roared to life. Musket shots rang out. Swords flashed in the chaos. Thousands of Incas were cut down in a matter of hours, their warriors ill-equipped and unprepared for European weaponry. Atahualpa himself was captured, an unthinkable moment for the mighty Incan dynasty. In this moment, the once unshakable Incan dynasty faced its greatest challenge, a turning point in history. Desperate to save their emperor, Incan leaders offered a ransom, a room filled with gold, enough wealth to satisfy the Spanish forever. Pizarro accepted, watching as carts laden with treasures poured in from across the empire. But once the ransom was paid, Atahualpa was executed anyway, strangled, his life extinguished after his use was exhausted. From there, Pizarro pushed further, capturing the Incan capital of Cusco and its remaining treasures. With startling speed, he toppled the empire, cementing one of history's greatest and most shocking military victories. For years, Pizarro ruled over the spoils of his conquest, growing rich beyond his wildest dreams. Yet wealth brought new enemies. Diego de Almagro, Pizarro's former ally, turned against him in a bitter feud over territories. What followed was a bloody civil war between the Spanish themselves. In 1541, betrayal struck. Pizarro, now in his mid-60s, was assassinated in his palace by Almagro's loyalists. He fought bravely, but fell, stabbed and left for dead in the very city he had claimed for Spain. Francisco Pizarro remains one of history's most polarizing figures. Was he a brilliant strategist who leveraged every advantage, or a ruthless invader driven by greed? There is no denying his impact. The once mighty Inca Empire collapsed because of him, its cities reduced to ruins, its people subjugated. But his story also reveals the enduring power of human ambition, how someone born into the humblest circumstances can shake the foundations of civilization. A legacy of glory and destruction. Pizarro's ambition reshaped history, leaving a mark that continues to provoke debate.